What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel She Zeroed In. In today's video, I'm going to show you how I clean my AR-15 Daniel Defense rifle. So first things first, you're going to separate your upper from your lower. Using a little plastic something, you don't want to use metal as it could scratch up your rifle, and you do want to keep your rifle in pristine condition. Or don't, do what you want to do, right? So pushing your rear takedown pin out, and then using the J. Dewey cleaning link, I'm going to reattach my upper to my lower, aligning it with that rear takedown pin hole, and then reinserting that rear takedown pin back in. Next up, I'm going to remove my charging handle and my bolt carrier group, removing them and setting them to the side, as we're going to be cleaning those in a bit. Next up, I'm going to use a bore guide. You want to insert this with the solvent port facing up. After that, I like to place a paper towel on my cheek riser to prevent any chemicals from falling onto that. Then using a one-piece carbon rod with the nickel jag. This is good to use as they are less reactive to chemical solvents. And this could prevent any false copper fouling indications, which could save you a tremendous amount of time and materials to prevent unnecessary cleaning. So from there, I'm going to be using the ProShot products, more specifically the 1 1/8 inch square patch, inserting this on top of the nickel jag, and then using the Hoppe's No. 9 cleaning solvent. And you don't need to go wild with this. A little bit goes a long ways. Just a little bit on the edge of that patch there. And then pro tip here, when inserting your rod into your guide, you want to make sure you keep everything straight and in one fluid motion, inserting it into your bore. You're going to start seeing all that black carbon coming out. And also, before taking your rod out, you always want to take the patch off. So I'm going to continue to do this until the patch comes out generally clean. Now I'm going to go ahead and wipe my rod down, and I'm going to be switching to a 22 phosphorus bronze brush. So using the 22 phosphorus bronze brush, this helps us break up more carbon within the bore here. So again, keeping everything straight, in one fluid motion, pushing this down into your bore. And then always unscrew the tip here before taking the rod back out. Don't want to reintroduce any type of fibers within your bore. And I like to do about 3 passes, and we'll go back to cleaning it with the solvent. Now back to my one-piece carbon rod with the nickel jag. I'm going to insert another patch, clean patch, and a little bit more of Hoppe's No. 9. And watch this. You're going to see how much more carbon we broke up within that bore there. Look at that. Disgusting. All right. So we're going to do this a couple more times until we get all of that carbon out. So I'm pretty content how that's looking. I'm going to go ahead and run a dry patch through before switching chemicals. So another clean patch on the end of my nickel jag here. Next up, we're going to be using the Cu+2 copper remover from Bortec. This is going to break up any type of copper within the bore, and you don't want too much copper as it could affect your rifle's accuracy, and furthermore, if you have too much copper in it for long periods of time, it could damage your rifle. So inserting this new chemical inside the bore. So make note that it is clear right now, but we're going to let it set for 3 minutes and come back to it. Okay, back to it. Mandatory dance break is over. Back to being serious. We're going to, sorry, I'm like out of breath after doing all that. Gonna get a clean patch, insert it on the edge of your nickel jag here, then getting that Bortec copper remover just a little bit on the end there. Then reintroducing this chemical back into your bore. And boom, look at that. You can see how blue it is. That's going to be the copper breaking up within your barrel. Now we're going to let it soak once more and move on to cleaning our charging handle and our bolt carrier group. So we're first going to clean our bolt carrier group. We're first going to remove the firing pin retainer on the side here. So using a little hook device, I'm going to pull this piece out, set it to the side. Your firing pin will come out. Next, you're going to rotate your can pin 92 degrees to remove that. Then you're going to remove your bolt from your carrier group. Then pushing down on this extractor here, you're then going to remove your extracting pin. Fall right out. Extractor is removed from your bolt. Now, first things first, we're going to take the Pro Shot cotton round. Using Hoppe's number 9, we're going to wipe down our bolt. And then using a nylon brush, you're going to wipe in between the lugs of your bolt. Now eventually carbon builds up on top of these rings here, so you can use a knife and gently scrape on top of that. After we're finished with this, we're going to go ahead and spray it down with Brakes Part Cleaner and shoot it with some compressed air, as always, 3 times. Now that your bolt is clean, you're going to set it off to the side and moving on to these smaller parts. Same thing, using the cotton round with Hoppe's number 9. I'm first going to clean my firing pin. And same as your bolt, your firing pin will start to build up carbon on the top here. You can also scrape that off with a knife very gently. Mine's looking okay right now, so I'm not going to do that. Once I'm finished cleaning my firing pin, I'm going to set it off to the side and continue cleaning my smaller parts. Now I'm going to move on to cleaning my bolt carrier group. And then using the nylon brush once more, I'm going to wrap this patch around it and get inside of your carrier group here. Now for your carrier key, you're going to use a pipe cleaner. And I don't go too wild here either, just to make sure that everything's clean and I don't get any fibers stuck down there. Now, same thing with our bolt. We're going to spray down our carrier group with the brakes part cleaner 3 times and then shoot it with some compressed air. Now we're going to move on to cleaning our charging handle. Now we put it all back together. So first, we're going to start with our bolt carrier group and our bolt. You're going to lay this extractor back on top of the bolt. And the extractor, and then the extractor pin goes back in to secure the extractor. And go ahead, place your bolt back into the carrier group here. And then taking your can pin, it should just slide right in, and if it doesn't, that means your bolt is facing the wrong way. You want your extractor pointed to the right. So my can pin is in. I'm going to go ahead and rotate it 90 degrees. Then pulling my bolt out, I'm going to drop my firing pin in. Now placing my firing pin retainer back to secure my firing pin. Now this is an important key. You shake it. So now you know it's retained correctly. Now you're going to go ahead and oil the side of the can pin. And put a drop into the can pin area. You're going to put 2 drops inside of the rings. Now you're going to go ahead and oil your charging handle. And you spread it with a finger. Now we're finished with the bolt carrier group and the charging handle, and we go back to our rifle now. Now that we finished cleaning our bolt carrier group and our charging handle, we can go back to our rifle. Just as a reminder, the Boratec solvent has been soaking in here, so we're going to go ahead and put a clean patch onto the end of our nickel jag here. Using that copper remover solvent again, we're going to insert this patch through our bore in one fluid motion, breaking up that copper. Now I'm going to go ahead and run a dry patch through. And with another clean patch, I'm switching solvents again back to the Hoppe's No. 9 cleaning solvent to get any remaining carbon out. And last but not least, I like to run a dry patch through such that we're not leaving any chemicals within our barrel. And one more. Why not? For good measure. Perfect. So now we're going to remove our bore guide and check to see if there's any fibers within our barrel. And now our rifle is clean. So you can go ahead and reinsert your charging handle and your bolt carrier group. You want to make sure that your bolt is pulled out. Alrighty. We're going to go ahead and reattach our upper and lower together, so pushing that rear takedown pin out, taking this J. Dewey link out, and now we do a function check. So rifle's on safe. I'm going to go ahead and charge it. Rifle is now off safe, and I'm going to go ahead and pull the trigger. Now this time I'm going to rack it again and listen for that reset. Fire it again. We're good to go. Put the rifle on safe. Now I'm going to go ahead and put my chamber flag in. And that's how I clean my AR-15 rifle. If you made it to the end, kudos to you. This is only my third time cleaning the rifle by myself. And again, if you made it this far, I left some bloopers at the end from the first time that I tried doing this and recording it. I made the mistake of putting in the wrong cleaning link in, and also my bore guide was all out of whack when I went to insert the rod in. My vise fell and I was completely shocked, and you know, now it's for your own amusement. And also the first time around, I was having a great amount of trouble trying to insert my can pin back into the bolt. And luckily my dad came to the rescue, showed me how it's done, and you know, thank you to him. And also just want to mention that my next competition is going to be July 19th. I'm shooting the Geisley match again at Coleman's Creek. Redemption hopefully will be mine, and you know, as always, having a great time and being a perpetual novice. And I get to bring y'all along for the ride. Enjoy. I'll see you in the next one. Oh my God.
Lovey, it's time to bolt.
I know.
Tired. I'm exhausted.
Okay. I'm putting it back together.
I want to leave. You could do this. You could finish this tomorrow. I don't care what you do, but I'm not staying.
Okay, can you just help me and I can just...
Okay, sure. All right. Okay.
Everything else is done.
The biggest thing that you need to understand once your gun is done, okay, is when the rings are relatively new, okay?
I can't get the can pin back in it.
No. I understand. See how that's open? See how it's round?
Yes.
See how that's round? See how the other side's not round?
Yes.
Okay, it's designed to put it in only one way. So what you need to do is once you get that, where'd you get this bolt? There it is, okay.
Yeah.
Once you get that lined up like that, okay, you need to line that up just like so. See it?
Mm.
Put your can pin in, rotate it, crossways this way, like this. Flip your bolt over, okay. Drop your firing pin in. That shouldn't be good. Yeah, there we go. And then once that's in all the way, she's good to go like that. Okay. Now you do it. small. There you go. You can see it from here. Don't force it.
Okay.
You don't have to force it. It should drop in with its own weight. There you go. Perfect. Now tee it 90 degrees. Okay.
Just drop it in, right?
Drop it
Or
in.
can I go that way? No.
You can go whatever you want to do, but just drop it straight in. There you go. You got it. Cam pin or fountain pin retainer. Straight in.